Hey there, Conniefuksa here with Foot Title Group, where we want you to know that a home closing doesn't have to be scary. We take care of all of the scary details for you so you don't have to worry about anything. So this week we've been talking about documents that you may see at closing. And first of all, let me say I'm really sorry to be getting to you so late today on Wednesday. It's been a really busy day. The real estate market is really picking up. We've had a lot going on today, and I really wanted to get to the gym and get that in too, just like all of the rest of you. When you're a hardworking person, you need to take care of your body just as well as you do your business and your mind. So I always try to be diligent and follow through with making sure I get to the gym as well. So that's why I don't look like my normal put together business self, but this is my gym self. So hope you excuse my appearance, but understand and appreciate the same reason that you need to go to the gym. And I wanted to get some information out to you guys today. I didn't want to miss a day of being able to talk about some stuff. So this week we talked about powers of attorney, excuse me. And previously we've talked about deeds, but I wanted to tell you a couple things about a deed, which transfers the title of the ownership from one person to another. But there's some significant things about a deed that you need to know. Like, for example, in order to sign a deed to transfer the ownership from one person to another, the person has to be 18 years of age or older. So of legal age to be able to sign a deed to transfer the ownership. And that's really important why? Well, let's say, for example, you own a piece of property and you want to add your child to that property, and that child is not over 18. If you ever decide you want to refinance the mortgage on that property, you have to have the court appoint a guardian for that child to be able to have someone sign on that child's behalf, because that child cannot legally execute documents on their own behalf if they're not 18 years of age. Obviously, you must be the legal owner of that property if you're going to execute the deed to a property. So you have to be the owner, and all the owners have to actually sign off on that deed. You can't have any mental issues if there are questions, or if a court order has been signed, or a guardian has been appointed for someone because of mental issues. That person cannot legally execute a deed transferring the title to a piece of property. A deed also contains something called a legal description, and the legal description is the actual legal way of describing the piece of property that's being sold. So on a legal description on a deed, very rarely will you see an address of a property, and the reason for that is because there's so many pieces of property that have the same address within a state. There's a lot of the same roads, and some of the numbers may be the same. So a legal description is a specific identifier of a piece of property, and it can come in a lot of different forms. If a subdivision has been created, then when that subdivision was created, a surveyor would have gone out and divided up what all those pieces of property are and all those lots to be able to give them an exact name and description for that particular plot of property. But if it hasn't been divided into a subdivision, then it very well could have a legal description that's what we call a meets and bounds, where the surveyor actually goes out and determines where those lines are, how long they are, and what the coordinates are of those lines. And then that information all determines what the legal description is. So a good deed will have a good detailed legal description in it. Tenancy is the way an owner or owners would hold title to that property. What's their ownership? What are the rules regarding their ownership? And we're going to talk more about tenancy at a later point, but depending on who those owners are, can determine how they can own the property. And then why that matters is because if anything's filed against that property, if a lien is filed against that owner, or if someone tries to sell it, then your ownership interest, which is the tenancy describes that, plays a very key role in that. So we're going to talk about tenancy a little bit later in a later video, but know that your ownership is partly described through that tenancy, and that's really important to understand. So for now, that's probably a good amount of information for you to understand about a deed and some of the legalities of those things, and the things that are contained within that deed. And so hopefully we gave you a little bit of information that could help you out, or maybe even spur a a question. And of course, as we always say, we'd like to keep you in the know zone. So we want you to know what you're doing so it's not a scary process. And at Foot Title Group, we work really hard to pull everything together for you so you don't have to worry about anything, and so that process is not scary. We also ensure that no one can ever take that home away from you. We know how hard you work for it, and we want to make sure you never have to be concerned. So with that, hope you guys have a great Wednesday evening. Thanks so much for understanding my appearance and my late attention to getting our video done. But we're working really hard to get you, get your settlements taken care of, and also get you information. So I hope you have a great evening, and I look forward to talking to you soon. If you need anything, reach out to us or check us out on our website, www.foottitlegroup.com. Have a great evening. Conniefuksa. I'll talk to you soon.